Hello, IMA are here today at International Alert in London with Guy Sharrock from the Catholic Relief Service, who's going to introduce to us the concept of evaluative thinking.
We think it's very important that this is built into the processes that we use. It's not an add-on. Evaluative thinking is essentially critical thinking applied in the context of doing M&E, or monitoring, evaluation, accountability and learning, as we call it in CRS. And part of the challenge is trying to find ways we can build it into existing processes, meetings and structures that we have. So I'm going to be introducing why we're doing evaluative thinking, why we think it's important, given some of the nascent changes going on in the aid community. And as I say, I think there's a sense of direction of travel here. We'll also be looking at barriers to changing organisations to make them more responsive and to embed evaluative thinking in the fabric of their processes and systems. But I have a sense that we're not going back anymore. There's a sense of moving forward on this, no matter how challenging it's going to be, to really change the mindset the way we do aid. So we need a system for monitoring and evaluation that's more responsive, that supports learning and ultimately adaptation. So what's going on here?
To some extent, there is reflection, learning does take time and resources.
Yeah.
It takes extra time,
Yeah.
You have to have people take time out of their busy day to talk.
So the challenge is, as we're designing programs, as we're monitoring programs, is really trying to surface assumptions.
The history of the organisation often impinged on its ability to do this kind of evaluative learning because, and some organisations that did have a strong focus on it, often when they recruited more experienced staff, actually struggled because they thought they knew the answer.
Well, actually, some degree of this is happening today, and that's why we want to change.
When I think of my current career trajectory, it is a result of all my own decisions, completely random factors, help from others. So this is a sense maker tool. They call this either a slider or a dyad.
I wanted to kind of try to do this exercise with my colleagues to see if it wasn't too much.
It was useful to reflect a bit on what evaluative thinking actually means, but then also have some tools in terms of how to make that happen in an organisation. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting and useful.
I think it was a really interesting event. It really got us thinking. It was really interactive. It was kind of engaging. In any moment, we felt, like sitting back and just listening. I guess, the only element that comes from my side is to have a part two. Because I think this was a kind of introductory session on evaluative thinking, and I'm really curious to know more about tools and how this might be applied more in practice.
Oh, it doesn't stop.